I mean, we could talk for ages about like more so just just entertainment in general that's come out in the last 5 years, but I'm not gonna lie, it's getting pretty long. I feel like I want to sort of close this on something that has come up in the last 5 years that ultimately is shown to be a major problem that's plaguing the world right now.
Oh boy.
Artificial intelligence.
Goodness sake.
Yeah. I
Uh,
Where do we
I have
begin?
been back and fucking forth about this. It is such a touchy subject. At first, it was like, oh, I mean, like, AI is the future and everything. AI will replace artists. And then it was, oh, AI is, like, unethical. It uses all the resources. It replaces, like, human ingenuity. And then it was like, by all accounts, AI will improve over time, and then, like, I mean, it won't do anything against humans, and here's tools to protect your work from artificial intelligence. And then it's 2024 and 5 come by, and AI has improved, and it's just like it's got nothing on human ingenuity. There are new AI tools that actually help trick people into thinking that you're actually doing the work. And then now the conversation is, well, I mean, you can look at modern art, and obviously it's a smoking gun because that's a tried and true showcase of that art is absolutely dead. Oh my fucking god. You want to know my
uh,
take? You want to know my take after all of this shit?
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
This should have been a fucking tool. This should have been a
Mhm.
tool to help artists with their process. It should have been a tool to help them with references. It should have been a tool to help them with whatever they fucking are working on. It should have been a tool by all fucking means, but it's become this thing where it's just like, now it's literally just, well, we're literally in the fucking Matrix now, because it's now turning into the whole thing with Agent Smith. It's just, you say it's your
Yeah.
civilization, but when we started thinking for you and acting for you, it really became our civilization. Because by all
Mhm.
accounts, yeah, to anyone who's still shilling for AI, if you really think you own the fucking images you're generating, the music you're generating, the voices you're generating, the videos you're generating, no, that's owned by the technology, because you didn't put in fuck all for the actual work. You entered in some prompts, you might have did 5 to 10 minutes of something on Photoshop, but that's fucking it. You didn't actually fucking work on this shit.
Mhm. Like,
And
Uh,
it's just, this
I,
is, there's no room for civil conversation for this, is the thing too. It's just, it's so, you're either extremely pro-human or extremely pro-AI. There is no discussing the pros and cons.
yeah,
yeah.
it's a real shame because honestly, it could have been something a little bit more special. But I think the problem is
Yeah.
quite a lot of companies are using it as a for-profit tool instead of, just giving it to the people. Like how they keep saying, we're giving it to the people, but you gotta really pay to use it, and they walk all the good features behind it. I understand structures cost money and all this. But when anything is made for profit, especially a new up and coming technology, there's going to be a lot of bugs, a lot of problems, and we are the beta testers. And
Yeah.
I have tried. I have tried so many different things with AI to see how it is. There was AI music. The first time I heard it, I'm like, dang, that sounds pretty good for 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay, it's losing its magic because it has the ability to look so professional, but only like to a certain degree
Yeah.
until like you start looking at it for a few days and everything just looks the exact same. It looks the same every
And
single
then
photo.
there's AI art, which at this start, you could see, like, people were given the benefit, it looks so good, it looks so high detail, it looks so high res, and now all the fucking AI art images have the same fucking art style for the last 4 to 5 years.
Yep.
And it's always the
God.
same kind of characters, the same kind of shit, the same kind of medium, used for the same kinds of purposes. It's mainly just done to generate anime characters with big anime titties, big anime thighs, looking dead face in the camera on Rule 34. And that's fucking it. The amount of Rule 34 that is plagued with AI generation, it's clear what you're fucking using it for. It's clear why you show it so much.
As an artist, this pains me.
Like, I wanted to try, like, a test. I had, like, an idea where it's like, what if I used, like, AI as a tool to improve my writing, because I wanted to get back at writing. Unfortunately, I wanted to make that for a video. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that because I actually begun relying on AI to do all the writing for me, and I lost more interest with writing. And I'm like, wow, so this is the process. Instead of actually implying that it's like it's a tool to help you, it's really a tool that makes it so easy that you don't even want to fucking do anything.
Yeah, and that is the fucking issue across the board. I mean, like, by all accounts, I still have a piece that I'm working on that is just an AI-generated image I found that is just redrawing it. Now, for artists who redraw shit, and draw shit and whatnot, there is some leeway because by all accounts you can still just create something new out of it. But for something like writing, for something like music, it's just like, it's so easy to just let it do all the fucking work instead of doing it for yourself. It's become so easy, in fact, that there are articles of people talking about how the newer generations and whatnot are actually losing interest in writing essays. They're losing interest in doing this, and that because it's just so easier to let the AI just take over and let it do that shit. And that's why I'm just like, by all accounts, yeah, can you say at that point it's your work and that you had ultimately your hands in it when you don't even know how to fucking do it to begin with?
It loses a lot of personality that comes with, being fucking human, existing in the first place. Like, the whole thing, like, even my stupid profile picture I use, I fucking made that. I used a lot of references, but I mean, still, I fucking made it. It's something. It's not special by any means, but it's something, which is better than nothing.
The art in this background, my avatar from years ago, the Fugi that I have, Scion's profile picture, I made all of that. And I enjoyed every single, like, more or less every single end result I got out of this shit. I have made this entire fucking platform in terms of visually. Yeah, I didn't borrow any, like, assets from AI or fucking anything like that shit. No, I drew this all by hand off of some concept art, some of my sketches.
I did sort of the same thing with some of my drawings too. I did that all by hand with some references. Yeah. I did not ask AI for any help.
Like, the only exception I had regarding, like, any assistance from AI art for my drawing was when I was doing a concept art, and the only reason why is because I literally just needed something along the lines of a reference for drawing a low-hanging ponytail, and that's it. It didn't do anything regarding how to draw curls the way I do. It had nothing to do with the color schemes that I use. It had nothing to do with how I draw my character's eyes. It had nothing to do with how I draw my character's skin or her scars. It had nothing to do with the outfit that I chose for her. It had nothing to do with that shit. It was literally just, which way does the hair go? That's fucking it. It's just like, I used AI, like, one of these sites once, and it was like years ago. I used it once, and it gave me a bunch of fucked up pictures of my avatar generated. Like, and I was just like, it was just, I just used it once. And it just, I didn't really like it. It gave me shit that was just like, I recognize where that's from. I recognize where that's from. This is not. It also had a genuine problem with focusing on melanated characters. So. Which I wonder why that might be. It's definitely not because a lot of people are training it on pale skinned characters or anything. Definitely not because of that. That's also another thing
and
too.
And a lot of anime.
And a lot of fucking anime, and also a lot of Disney characters. It's just gotten so out of fucking hand. We have points now where it's like there's game trailers being made with AI. There are video games that are incorporating AI, which at the very least, like sites like Steam are demanding that, hey, you be transparent with what your usage of AI was. But still, it's just like, it's been said before, it's going to be said here, and it'll be said in the future. It needs to genuinely have some goddamn regulations. It needs to be kept under fucking wraps. Because if it continues to go on as much as it has been going on, nothing is gonna get better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better if things don't immediately start happening.
But if there is one good positive that I have been seeing is that even though legislatives and other people don't want to really do much against AI and they're giving more power to these companies, there are actual people who are finding ways to literally red pill AI and to actually make their generations worse.
Yeah, I've seen people like have the idea of let's generate AI images on top of AI images, so there's that. And of course, there's also programs like Glaze and Nightshade that are intended to have you overlay your work so that it can't be as easily trainable on AI anymore, which I think is fantastic. This is the only thing to come out of all of this regarding being an artist. Seeing all of this, it just depressed the fuck out of me. It's just it's made it for a while. It just made me not want to draw because of how fucking bleak it just looked. And then when I started drawing again, it was just like I remember just how much fun and enjoyment I had with it. Like it the problem I've had, the problem ultimately that regardless of what anybody who shills for AI is going to say, the problem at the end of the day is as much as that they want to say, oh, well, it's our work and that we get enjoyment from that, and ultimately it's like, I mean, you can talk big a game, but ultimately you're stealing, like, art from other artists as well when you do your shit. It's just like, I mean, by all accounts, I'm just gonna say this to anyone who's into AI art: buy a sketchbook and then just draw characters you see on screen. Just try that and do that for a month and see how it feels. If you can manage doing that for a month, and you can seriously tell me that by all accounts, making AI and whatnot is just like you feel the same kind of satisfaction in regards to that as opposed to doing it in sketch art, where you would be doing it for a straight month until practicing more and more and more until you got it right, and then eventually when you finally get it right, that satisfaction of actually realizing that all that effort, that time and energy you spent into it finally starting to pay off and you can actually get somewhere, as opposed to just relying on AI to give you a quote unquote result immediately. It's just like, seriously, it's just like the problem that's plaguing like the industry right now. It's just, it's full of people who gave up. It's full of people who never bother to actually try. It's full of people that most likely tried to get into art, had bad experiences, and instead of getting like taking those experiences to heart and learning from them, or trying to use those to motivate themselves, they decided, oh, AI lets me like be an expert with no actual training. I can have art skills like any talented artist. It's just like, it's just like you gave up. You just gotta admit that you fucking gave up. You didn't want to try anymore. You got sick and tired of being criticized about the shit that more or less, like, if you had an actual artist take a look at, they would have said, yeah, that's actually pretty good. It could use some improvements, but you're coming along perfectly fine. Like, that's the biggest problem. It's just most likely the people who are shilling for this are just people who just gave up on trying to be an artist and instead just decided to let the AI ultimately do the work for them. They're letting the AI do the work for them and trying to reap the benefits.
Dang. I mean, listen, don't use AI just to like profit off of it. This is not a tool meant to profit off of one that's already made of stolen content in the future. And if I know a lawsuit is coming for like Disney possibly suing them for like licensed characters and other properties. If that actually does happen and all that stuff, that's going to start really cracking down on AI heavily, since it's made up of pretty much all copyrighted characters.
Yeah, this is one of the times where I'm actually rooting for Disney, because it's just like, I'm actually surprised the lawsuit didn't come in honestly any sooner, because it was like I just legitimately hope, because by all accounts, yeah, when you're trading your work on copyrighted characters that a business like Disney owns, I think by all accounts, yeah, they that would lead them to step in. Or hell, like, I'm honestly kind of surprised Nintendo and Studio Ghibli are not getting a hand in this, by all accounts, because I've seen their work be trained on AI. Hell, the fact that recently now it's a trend for the Studio Ghibli art style to be generated. Like, I'm surprised that that company isn't actually pressing charges. Like, by all accounts.
I saw this like one quote I saw where someone was trying to state that it's like, you artists should pack up your bags because you're having a bad day. So now that like AI can now replicate like the Studio Ghibli art style, and it's like, listen, if that is what you think is like literally peak and there is nothing more, you either one need to watch way more stuff out there, or two, understand that just because it can replicate something does not mean it will replace artists by any fucking means.
Oh no. And
basically.
And there's another thing too about the whole replacing artists thing, is that they want to act like, oh, I mean artists like steal from other artists all the time. And here's the thing, there is truth to that, but the truth comes from the fact of those artists got called out. There have been plenty of artists that have ripped off other artists by all means. I mean, I don't think any of us are like not aware of the whole thing with Butch Hartman. I think we all, by all accounts.
God.
Yeah. He stole and traced like other artists, and he got rightfully called out for that shit. So here's a question. If it's not right for someone like Butch Hartman, the creator of Fairly Odd Parents, among other stuff, to trace and rip off other people's artwork, why is it right for these programs and these companies to do the same with countless other titles and countless other artists? And that's just the thing. It's just like, you can justify it as much as you want. You can try to explain away as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that you need us for this to even work to begin with, for AI to even work to begin with. You need us. Without us, this whole thing falls apart. Without anything available on the internet that we've created, your whole system just that you shill for falls apart. As for artists, Yeah, sure. If I don't have references, yeah, maybe my art isn't as good as it could be, but that's not going to stop me from creating art that I genuinely love and getting good at it. And the difference, here's the major difference at the end of the day. If by all accounts, if there was a major power outage and everything just shut down, how are you going to be able to use AI? And there's going to be people that go in defense of that, which is like, well, you're a digital artist. You're like, I mean, you all are digital artists, so you would have trouble even doing it. You'd be in the same boat as us. Yes, but the difference is, any one of us can get a pencil and a piece of paper and just go to work if we need to. We don't care. We genuinely do not give a fuck. There are other solutions and other alternatives to art. And as for the whole modern art thing, because people like to bring up, well, I mean, like you talk about how artists make some great work, but then there's also Jackson Pollock with modern art. And it's just like, and here's the thing, right? You can ask a number of artists in the field, they will tell you how much they fucking hate Jackson Pollock and what he did for modern art. Like, Jackson Pollock is not a saint. He's not he's not Mother Teresa of the art world. He's a black sheep upon what it means to be like a genuine artist. He just got popular for it. Like, cause by all accounts, like if you want to talk about like, oh man, like you want to make art that's like on perfect on the other like artist level, like Leonardo da Vinci and whatnot, I guarantee you Leonardo da Vinci had plenty of sketches and paintings that he was not proud of and never saw the light of day. And the reason why is mainly because that's the process. Being an artist is not easy, and it shouldn't be easy. And if you really think that by all accounts we can't get any happiness from the struggle and actual attempt at trying to get all of this shit right, then you clearly have never worked a damn day in your fucking life.
Well, automation is definitely a lot easier to do. It gives you no reward. I think a good example would just be to, well, for me, I built a portfolio of my work for maybe 3 years. And the thing is, I've gotten slightly better at where I once was. It showed how I was experimenting, I was really bad at it, and honestly, I'm at a whatever point right now. But the fact is, you could see there was improvement. I changed something along the way, and I was slowly developing a more consistent style instead of always experimenting all the time. What can you really say about AI? Oh, I use a different model, so now this one looks slightly more realistic. Realistic or even more anime does not mean it's better. It means if you took the time, you've taken painstakingly amounts of time to craft something that probably many people won't. Literally, the whole point is that popularity means pretty much nothing, because this is the internet. It will be popular for 5 minutes and then disappear like lightning. Will you really be able to look at that in 4 or 5 years and say, yeah, that was good? My stuff is cringe, but guess what? It's still something I could at least understand that I did. I put time and effort in, and it gives me something to remember. What does AI do?
Basically, it's kind of the same with me. I have loads of sketchbooks of like all my drawings I've done, but you can see there's improvement. You can see how much I've been experimenting, how much I've been like changing my art style a bit. What can AI do?
And here's another big thing I don't think we really touched on. I don't really hear too many people actually touching on. The major reason of why I think AI is genuinely inferior to like what we do is here's the thing. If we put in a row, and if you want to send me this for like editing and in post, I can by all accounts do that. But if we put in a row one example of our art side to side, people could tell that we did that. I can put 3 examples side to side of AI art that looks exactly the same, but it's done by 3 different people. So the question is, by all accounts, if you really think that by all accounts this work is yours and that, yeah, this AI is ultimately going to change everything, what's going to stop it from making you or anyone else be the exact fucking same? What is going to stop the AI, by all accounts, from generating images or generating music or generating anything at all that ultimately has nothing to signify your actual traits, your fingerprints, your actual mark on the world? That's the major difference between so many artists who do this craft. By all accounts, you can say what you will about artists like Vivzipop, but you know that's her style. You can say what you will about Studio Bones' animation style or Studio Trigger's animation style, but by all accounts, you can tell that's their style. And you can say what you will about the Studio Ghibli or Hayao Miyazaki style, but by all accounts, you can tell that's Studio Ghibli's style. That's Hayao Miyazaki's style. When you try to replicate everything that we and so many others do, at the end of the day, what do you really have that you can call your own out of that product? What do you really have that is truly yours?